You are on the line with Juan Roque and the Rhino Ryan Knowles, and of course it's USC week. Trojans, always a big game, Rhino. Become kind of a big time rival. I know I hated their guts when I was playing, and I was actually supposed to go there out of high school. So let's get to the nitty gritty of this segment, Rhino. Let's talk about key matchups as far as who does ASU need to focus on defense. Obviously, to avoid the debacle of the Marcus Sweeten situation last week against Oregon State. So, Rhino, what are your key matchups in this game? Let's get to that right now.
First of all, you hit it right on the head. USC's wide receivers are such a big focal point, such a big part of this offense that and ASU struggled against OSU's strong wide receiver duo last week. Both Wheaton and Cooks went over 100 yards and combined for 3 touchdowns. And they cannot have any blown coverages. That was the big problem last week. I think they've had too many blown coverages of late. You can go back to the UCLA game. They had a couple in that game as well. Just mental lapses against this unit will lead to big plays for Matt Barkley. Bottom line, he throws the ball with such accuracy, especially the deep ball. They need to stay disciplined and keep their feet under them to minimize big plays because USC is an explosive, high-power offense, and they can hit you for big plays and run up that score very quickly. How
about on the linebackers? What have you seen as far as Brandon McGee?
Silas Red,
Chris Young, and Stephon Martin. What do they do?
They definitely need to contain Silas Red because ASU has given up 2 straight 100-yard rushing games.
That's what I was getting at.
Both losses. See a connection there, and Will Sutton's just not enough. He's played very well, but they can't just rely on him. The whole unit needs to play better along that front 7. To keep that run game contained, make USC's offense one-dimensional. Now that is an explosive, high-impact one dimension. But if you can take away their running game and learn to expect the pass, I think they can make some plays downfield against Barkley. Big plays come from a lack of communication. That's really
it's a blown assignment. That's something mental.
That's something Todd Graham preached today in his press conferences. That all these big plays that have come the last couple of weeks have been because of a lack of communication. That's got to get better.
That means it's correctable, which is good. It's one thing not to be talented enough or not be fast enough. It's a whole different thing when you're effing it up mentally.
But that's
a whole different ballgame.
That's got to be shored up for them to have a chance this week.
Absolutely. Now, in the interior of the line, of course, what I've noticed, of course, in looking at Max Turek, who does a great job, John Martinez, shout out to the Latino, 6'2", 300 pounds over at right guard, and they got Kevin Graff at right tackle, another 6'6", 295. The Trojans is bringing these monsters for offensive line. We need to get some of that action on our O-line at some point. But to me, the biggest matchup, I think, is going to be Junior Onyeli versus Max Turek, because, of course, you got a true freshman. Yes, like Simon Goins, they're young from UCLA, who I also think is going to be a phenomenal player. Young guys, but that's the key point. They're young. Junior Onyeli, he would make veteran offensive linemen cringe and think twice about how they're going to come at him. So I think this is a game for number 5 to really turn it up, pin his ears back. USC is going to focus on the pass.
Oh, yeah.
Junior needs to get 2 or more sacks in this game for ASU to win.
Yeah, he needs to have a good game.
Absolutely. On the interior, we talked about Khalid Holmes, Remington candidate. He's the guy who is going to be all Pac-12 more than likely, probably be up for some All-American honors, along with John Martinez and Marcus Martin in there. You look at Mike Pennell, you look at Jackson Hood, who I think is coming along just fine and will develop into a player like Will Sutton. That sack he had against Cody Vaz was just phenomenal. He just ran right into him. That was like Warren Sapish when he did that.
Nice.
And so definitely a matchup that I want is our 3 defensive tackles against that interior. They got to clog it up and let our linebackers make those plays on Silas Red.
Absolutely.
Let them get into coverage. Those are just huge matchups. And I know I always talk about the trenches, but to me it's a trenches game. That's what's going to be decided. And ASU's D-line, this is a game that they need to dominate. If we're going to win this game, they need to dominate. Onyeli needs to get, 2 or more sacks. Sutton and the interior need to get 3 or more. We need to get 5+ sacks in this game, I think, for us to be in it at the end and possibly pull out the upset.
Yeah, but not just the sacks. I think the hurries are very important.
Absolutely.
Get Barkley out of his comfort zone. Yeah, exactly. Get him out of his comfort zone. He doesn't throw a great ball on the run. He still needs work with that. So if they can get him out of the pocket a little bit and chase him down, he's not extremely fast. He is athletic, but he doesn't have great speed side to side.
He's a lead foot.
Yeah,
he ain't RG3.
Yeah, exactly. So if they can get to him and get him outside the pocket, make him extend plays and give the secondary a chance downfield, I really feel like the ASU can have success on defense.
So there you have it. That's how ASU will be successful on defense. Paul Randolph, I hope you're watching this segment because we just gave you the ticket on how to beat USC. All right, don't go anywhere, folks. When we get back, let's talk a little bit about the Trojan defense and what that means for ASU's offense.